Every day in May. This is yesterday's sketches. Two little raccoons. There we go. I didn't know they would both fit on the same paper when I started. Let's zoom in a little. You're getting stuck on that light. Okay. So today, let's draw something. I was trying to figure out what to draw. It is hot here, so I have to remember to use my pencil blocker and drink water. You talking to me? Oh. All right, we got our pencils. So, oh, got a line here. Get out of there. Oh, it's so hot that the paper's curling up. Okay. I'm trying to make sure the camera has moved a little bit, so I'm trying to make sure I'm still drawing in the right place. Well, I first and foremost, I would really love to thank everybody. We recently went over 100 subscribers, and that has been so awesome. Who knew? And so we'll draw a little bunny. Rabbits are always fun because of their huge ears. It makes them a nice, fun thing to draw. Their eyes are on the sides of their head because they're little prey animals. Their nose is nice and cute. But this is a cartoon bunny. He's not, well, actually he's kind of turning out pretty real. But he is here to thank everybody for subscribing. He has let's make his arms longer than they really are. He has one of these things. A megaphone, I guess it's called. Like a cheerleader. He looks so bad. Here we go. He doesn't look bad. I am mixing cartoon and not cartoon, and I'm being silly. So let's just go full on cartoon with this guy, which means we'll move his mouth here. We'll give him a pupil. A lot of animals don't have like normal looking eyes, and it makes them like kind of hard to draw when you want to make them accurate and still cartoony. We'll move his body down a tiny bit. If we're going to make him a cartoon, let's have him be standing up on cartoon legs instead of, I mean, he doesn't have to be on cartoon legs, but he should be standing up. Here, we'll put him on normal bunny legs, but we'll still have him standing up. Give him the tail. He also has balloons. He's really happy for us. We're really happy. He's going to need a friend to hold the megaphone. I just don't think he can do it by himself. So we'll just give him a friend. Why fight it? Problem solve, you know? Okay, I'm doing sketch a day May. I've been sketching every day in May. I'm going to continue and just do a live sketch every day in May. It's been really fun. It's been really rewarding. Um, I've gotten better at drawing. It's a little hot today, but is this all still on camera? And he's saying, thanks for 100. This is a funny joke because rabbits don't know what 100 is. All right, what else can we draw today? If anyone has a suggestion, I'd love to hear it. I can try to readjust my chair for a second. All right. I did a raccoon yesterday. Hey, Elstefan. Happy Saturday, Oddfud. All right, we've done a fox. Wait, did we do a fox? Yes. We've done a fox. We've done a bunny. We've done a bear. We've done a cat. Oh, we did a koala. So we've not done a real bear. We've done a marsupial. But let's do... I just thought of one. Let's do a pig. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry, it's... Okay. Yeah, let's do a pig. We'll have a pig. We'll have him... We're going to use the more easily erasable pencil. This is just a regular 2B or number 2 pencil lead inside a mechanical pencil. If you want to know, I like these. They're Graph Gear 500s. I don't know if you can see that. And I use this one to sketch things before they start getting like, I want to keep them on the paper for sure, because they are more easily erasable than the other pencil I use, which is a 2B pencil. And that is darker and softer. So it's easy to put down a lot of like, whoa, pushed it all the way out. It's easy to put down a lot of lead and really get the shading in. It's also like nice, and I like it because of that, but also because it feels really comfortable. Like, it sort of feels like the lead goes down really easy. Like you don't have to press as much, and you get a much bigger variation when you do press. Man, I kind of need more protection here. So this is where his eyes will be. I don't know why he is rolling his eyes. He thinks I'm a little doofy, maybe. I didn't know until I started doing these lives and recording myself on a daily basis how much I said doofy. So we record regular videos, non-live videos, semi-frequently. A lot. We do a lot. And, you know, you put on not a different personality, but you're like, gotta make sure I'm prim and proper. We're recording a video. Gonna make sure I do it good and right. And that's good. That's fine. Oh, little cute tiny hairs for the piggy. But you can't do that, or I can't do it, when I'm doing the live and I'm doing the sketching. It just is beyond me. You can hear it right now. I'm barely able to talk. And so I revert back to more of my natural speech patterns. I'm not trying as hard to be proper. And so I've learned when I'm not trying so hard to be proper, I say doofy a lot. Don't want to be doofy. I have kind of a corny these eyes, this right one is a little low. I'm just gonna try to bring it up without having to erase and redraw. Yeah, I have a kind of corny vocabulary because I worked at a toy store for like 15 years on and off. And you learn to change the way you speak. And that kind of moved forward into all aspects of my life. It's better to, for me, I found it's much easier to let myself be doofy. All right, so where is this body going to be? I didn't really, I assumed it would just kind of like come off to the right or to the left. But I was, but I was thinking maybe it's paws. Pigs don't have paws. Hooves, like are on a fence. Pigs have cloven hooves. Oh yeah, that looks so right. I didn't know I knew what pigs' hooves looked like until I drew that right there. And yeah, we'll try to get this. You know what? I have a ruler. Let's bring this ruler down. Okay. Either we have to move one of the hooves or we just say the drawing is crooked on the paper. Let's say the drawing is crooked on the paper. Let's say this is up for our drawing today. Let's make the fence perpendicular to the horizon, parallel to the horizon. And we'll say that line is perpendicular. Just for future reference, when I scan it in or if I decide to do something with this, I can see what I was thinking. There we go. He's a baby piglet, so... Oh, you know what this means, though, is we don't get to draw the tail. That's okay. We can do his brother. Do pigs have shoulders? Not really, right? They just kind of like most animals, the shoulder is sort of a lump on its body. Like that. Pig's hooves, are they like darker than the rest of it? You know, like horses' hooves are hard and a lot of animals have different colored feet. I don't know. We'll do that. That looks pretty good. Oh my gosh. Look at this guy. The elephant really likes it. Elstefant. Okay, let's switch to the darker pen and get some details in here. So let's nail down the shape of the nostrils. I like this right one better, his left one better. So I'll try to mirror that on this side. I did okay. Bring it in a little. And let's just make them dark. I don't think piglets have teeth. So let's just give him a tongue. And shade that in. Not white, but not black. We'll get the side of his head kind of well defined. His little hairs. What? Gordy? Is that like the Babe competitor? Does anyone know anybody who has a pig? In the town I grew up in, there was a farm stand, and they had two pigs, and they were named Elvis and Priscilla. And they were like right on the main road, and you would see their little pig pen all the time when you went anywhere, because like it was right there. And then Elvis died, and Priscilla lived for like so long, lonely in that little pig pen. And I think about that a lot, which is kind of weird. Oh yeah. These are a little uneven, but that's all right. The pig is leaning. I am going to move this eye up. I don't think I really recovered from putting it too far down. I do like it no longer looks like he's rolling his eyes. Oh yeah, we'll shade this ear so we know it's behind. We'll darken this line that covers, that's in front of the ear, like we did here. A darker, thicker line makes things look like they're in front of other things. Just as a general rule, not all the time, but usually. Okay, we'll shade some inside of the ear. Separate it from the rest of the skin, because it'll, in real life, it'll be very easy to see it's different. It'll have like little fine hairs and all that, which are so impossible to draw. So instead, we'll give it a little shading. We can clean that up later, and then it'll often just all be in coloring. I should have done it this way. This one's much better. Like if this got colored, or when this gets colored, it'll be really easy to add in what looks like peach fuzz, but is really just a little bit of different coloring. But when we're sketching, it can be hard. If this is going to remain as a pencil drawing, for instance, it can be hard to create the illusion of different textures, and especially fine hairs. And oh, that's why I didn't do it. Fine hairs and stuff like that. Now we'll go from here. Yeah. I had to turn the paper here because my hand just won't naturally make that shape in that direction. Okay, so I'm seeing something here once I've shaded it in that I missed on the first go around, and that is that the left ear is significantly bigger than the right ear. So we can bring that in a little bit. That is not a problem, especially because of the shape of the ears. We can just come in and erase a little bit, and then we'll reshape that. They don't have to be the same shape, but being the same size is pretty important. Oh yeah, and the nose is going to be a different color, but we've represented that here by giving it a complete outline. One thing I learned in my journey, in my journey of art and trying to get better at art and gobbling up all the... Anyway, one thing I learned was the idea that lines are generally an illusion. Like, we think of lines in art as one of the major building blocks, you know? You have, for instance, this line of the fence that comes between this fence and who knows what's in the background, right? Like a barn. It'll be like red. That'll be like red and have doors or whatever, white doors, and oh, Barns usually go this way. But what's interesting about that is there's no real line between the fence and the barn. Obviously, we see a line, there's a demarcation, but it's actually just the change of color from the fence, which will be, you know, a brown or who knows, whatever color it's painted, if it's not natural wood, to, is this? Yeah. To the color of, well, like the sky, this would all be blue, or the color of the barn, which is, I guess, red. But it just goes right from the texture of the wood to the texture of the barn. And in our minds, we're like, well, those are two different things. So when we draw them, we draw a line. But really, it would just be color from one to the other. And in even more detail, the color kind of interacts and overlaps at the line in a way, because just that's how light works. It bounces around, it does all sorts of crazy stuff, and how our eyes work. And so it's like really interesting. Lines are a useful tool. Don't stop using lines. I mean, do whatever you want. Great art is because people don't listen to the rules and then still make something really amazing. But I always try to remember a line is just a tool. It's not like some hard and fast or accurate representation. It is often, and maybe even mostly, just a differentiation between two colors or between two textures. And I just think about that. Okay, should we give this piglet? Oh, not a bow. Let's have him holding something. That's what I was going to say. Is that a thing? Oh my gosh, I was going to give this pig a pinwheel, and my wife, who's right in the other room, just said a pinwheel. Maybe you can hear her. And I was like, I was going to say a pinwheel. It's crazy. She told me before that she thinks this looks like Gordy, which is like an obscure movie from the 90s that like did not compete with Babe, but came out around the same time. So let's do a pinwheel. Pinwheels are friggin' complicated. Yep. So pinwheels, maybe I shouldn't do it so it's like 90 degrees to the actual pinwheel handle. We'll just do it slightly off so it seems more natural. Okay. So I have to think about this a lot. So you take this side, you take, it's just like a triangle or like a square or something. It looks like this, and then it's cut here, and you take this and you fold it down here. So then this becomes like a, oh my, we've been led astray. Okay, I figured it out. It goes like this. Okay. I never remember what anything looks like, so I just have to like figure out what it would look like and then draw that. I think it's an interesting experiment. People were asked to draw a bike. Like everyone knows how a bike works, but then they can't draw it. Most people cannot draw a bike when asked. And oh, I lost it. Yeah, it looks enough like a pinwheel. No, I'm not. I can't. I keep failing. What is happening here? Okay, we'll clear some space for it. It doesn't have to be a real pinwheel. I try to remember this a lot, that drawing is all an illusion anyway. So if you just do an illusion of a thing, that's what you're supposed to do. So it doesn't have to be some perfect engineering representation of the thing. Oh, here. It's like, huh. So it's like, yeah, that looks right. And then if it was down here instead. So like, yeah, I got it. Okay, so this point, this is where the, so I think part of my problem is this line is confusing me. You'll have like the line of the bent paper, and then the line of the cut, which comes like straight down, and then the line of this part. Dang, I'm still struggling. Well, I don't know where this part goes. I don't know what a flat pinwheel looks like. Here, we're gonna do this. Whoops, now they're backwards. Okay, I got it. We're just gonna do this. I was saying before about the illusion. This is gonna be enough illusion. Everyone's gonna know this is a pinwheel. And I can, yeah, move on with my life. Stop stressing about a thing that ultimately is not. This is a sketch. We're not trying to be perfect. Yeah, and then the things I was trying to do are like in here even. So like maybe this is a little curved. Maybe there's like a little bent, like, so that, there, I just did it. Something like that. Oh yeah, and then this piece, this is like closer to it. There. That's like a pretty, this is, I'll make it a biblically accurate pinwheel. We'll just put eyes all over it. No, that's too far. It's not time for that joke. All right, this is fun. I want to do another something. So if someone has a suggestion, I will do that. So in high school, you know how like in the yearbook they have those senior superlatives which I didn't know what superlative was, even though I did great in English class. It's just words that mean like the best of or the blank of. So that's why it's superlatives, because it's most likely to blah, 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 or most, independent or cutest or snarkiest, or well, I don't know. Yeah. So my wife and I were in high school together. We were high school sweethearts, and we got voted in the yearbook most unique, which you would think there would only be one most unique person, but you got to do boys and girls. So it was most unique. We were both most unique, which, like, I really genuinely don't think they were like, oh, we voted one of them in most unique, we might as well do the other one. Like, I do think we both got it and earned it independently. We were weirdos. Okay, so let's do the cartoon version to start. And then we can do something else. I'll do the cartoon version on the end of the paper so we can use this for another drawing if we end up doing another drawing. Let's see. So I'll just do, we won't have him doing the same thing. It's been more fun to have them, the cartoon versions, doing something else. So I'll give him the classic cartoon pig snout. And we'll give him big eyes because I messed up the ears. Yeah. Suggestions like maybe he could be sitting down. Great. Big ears, that messed me up.
Yeah, like you know, if you're like the April, like Miss April, and you would have like you would be wearing like a yellow bikini and a rain hat, rain boots, and holding an umbrella, and you'd be holding the umbrella between your legs.
And give them big cheeks because pigs are fat, right? That's the meta on pigs. They're chubby. I try to make all of my cartoons happy, especially in their default drawing, but I try to make them always happy unless they have a good reason to have a different face on. Whoa. There, that's not so bad. Give his snout a little dimension, which makes his eyes look more real. We'll give him eyebrows. Not all cartoons need eyebrows. This guy definitely did. Who knows why? Okay. Let's have him. I had the suggestion of sitting. Which means we'll get some foreshortening. No, you know what? I really want his tail to be out. So I think sitting is bad for that. We'll have him holding, now that I know how to draw pinwheel so well, we can have him holding a pinwheel. You know what's really interesting? If I had just drawn ears, like pig's ears for the pinwheel, it would have worked fine. Actually, it worked so good. This is the general shape of a pig's ear that I've been drawing. And it looks essentially exactly right. My brain stopped working. This side, inside. Yep, it's this side, okay. He's waving. I know some people do like all sorts of hands for their cartoons, and like that's great. My first cartoons, like little comics that I ever drew, were drawn of stuffies, and the stuffies did not have hands, right? They just had like this. They were just like tubes that looked like that. I think they were elephants, so they might have had like that going on. And so that's what I started drawing. And it's really like stuck with me. So for a lot of my cartoons, I don't do hands. I do sometimes do feet. I think feet can be much more important than hands. Oh, and let's put him in the mud. It's like a mud puddle. Oh yeah. We can have him even sunk in a little bit. So it'll give some like depth and dimension to the mud. Kind of pull it out. Do some shading because it's going to be nice and dark compared to the surrounding area. And we'll make the edge uneven because the edges of mud is uneven. And you don't have to you can just do kind of like this weird scribbly pattern. I love the random scribbly pattern for stuff like natural stuff. Stuff like coastline or, the edge of mud or like the leaves and trees. Anything that's supposed to be fractal or, natural. And you can like get all sorts of variation too. Like the scribbly pattern, you can have all sorts. You can have like the very curvy one. You can have like a more irregular one, and then you can have like sharp, twisty. And then one of my favorites is when you do fur, you can have it like kind of come back in on itself a little. This is a bad example, but you see like these kind of like wave hooks. I'm struggling with that one today, but we'll give him a little pig belly. So we'll just kind of shade here where it goes from the circular pig belly to the like chest area, whatever that's called on a pig. Chest, probably. Pigs don't have belly buttons, do they? That would be silly. We gave him a belly button anyway. And then he's been playing in the mud, so let's make him a little muddy. I think that'll be fun too. Oh yeah. Well, the mud going up his leg. He'll have mud on his belly a little bit. That'll also help us define the shape of the belly because we'll kind of have it coming over the top of it. We'll have mud definitely on his other arms, on his arms. We'll even have it a little dripping off. That'll be fun. And again, we'll make the transition from mud to not mud a little bit uneven, a little random. Oh yeah, we'll have the pinwheel also be muddy. And we'll give him some mud on his face too. Some on his ear. How did that get there? This actually reminds me, when I was young, when we had spaghetti, it was like a big deal. And I didn't know why. Like I love spaghetti, everyone loves spaghetti, but like it was like a real, not a treat exactly, but it was like, oh, it's spaghetti night. And I never really understood why until I asked, right? And that's the best way to learn. And my mom told me that my little brother, like, he loves spaghetti so much, and no matter what they did, and this was when he was like 7, 6, 7, he would just end up with spaghetti everywhere. His whole, his head, his face, the chair behind him, like, he would have spaghetti in his hair, he would have spaghetti, like, in his shirt, and we just did not know. Like, you would watch him and he wouldn't look like he was that messy, and then there'd just be spaghetti all over. I'm doing a split rail fence in the back here. It feels right for the farm. And it's nice to give something like to hint at a horizon. I try to do that for a lot of drawings. And we'll throw the barn in again, but we'll like kind of exaggerate the, what is this called? Perspective. I think I really like when cartoons exaggerate perspective for background objects, and I think it can give it a lot of character because, like, you're not trying to, cartoons especially, right? Like regular drawings, maybe you are trying to convey something that looks close to reality. But I find with cartoons, at least for me, I try to convey like an emotion or a scene or something that just like really strikes you. And because I want to be striking, I try to exaggerate like some things. Oh man, that is a good cutesy version. And he is asking for a hug. Oh, what is his name? Let's see. What? LeVar. That's all right. Not bad. Let's do. Ooh, you know what I really like? Um, Wallace. Is that a good one? Yeah. Okay, I kind of want to do something else. No, I'm feeling like chill now. I'm doing Sketch a Day May. I just did this little guy, and then we did his cartoon version, which is this little guy. I am sketching every day in May. So I've done, this is day 17, I think, and we're doing, 30 days. So, no, uh, 14 more days. Here's some of yesterday's sketches. We had some of yesterday's sketches. This is the cartoon version. I really like him. He has no idea what's going on. All right, I think I will do some flowers because April showers bring May flowers. And then I'll call it a day. I think we'll choose some flowers to draw. And that'll be nice and fun. And then we'll head off. Oh, you know what I drew the other day that I really liked was some dandelion chains. We could do something like that. Let's stick with the pigs. And let's do a piglet, which is what we've actually been doing. Oops, and we'll do a piglet with a dandelion chain. Okay, so I'm going to really sketch this one in a more classic style. So we'll have the head, we'll have the ears, we'll do like the front kind of be leaning in, his legs like that. We'll have his butt will be here, his little piglet tail will come out there, and his back legs will kind of be like blop and somewhere in here. Yeah, about that. Okay, I like this already. Well, he will be looking, let's make him looking directly at us because that's fun with piglets. And we will give him the dandelion chain will hang loose around his neck. So that'll be that. Yeah, I like this a lot. I kind of wish I drew him bigger, but let's go. So I'm just going to kind of nail down these ears because that's where I am. That's what called out to me. I want this a little bit more rounded. There we go. And I bring that in. We'll do the eyes next, because that will help anchor the face and make him cute. And I do want him to be cute. He doesn't have to be hyper realistic. This will be somewhere in between the two versions that I've done already. Let's get this center line so I don't accidentally him super crooked. Do the nose. And then we want him to be like super happy, so we are going to go like almost straight cartoon with the mouth, because we want him to be so happy he has a dandelion chain. We'll give him the tiny hairs to fill out his pigginess. And we won't connect the head and separate it, because we want it to look like it's part of the body. And so it's the easiest way for me to do that is just kind of leave the line open, even just a little bit. And then, it keeps the head from looking like it's just drawn on top of. Here, why don't I zoom in on this? Not out. Oh my gosh. I've heard a lot of people complaining about YouTube Zoom. I didn't know what they were talking about. I get it. Okay. He's a very perky little piggy. Little hooves. It behooves him. Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. It doesn't behoove him at all. He's unaffected by human matters, except he loves to be cute. I'm going to try to leave some space here so that I can come back and do the details on that and make it like 3D instead of just a single line. Okay, and now I want to just make sure that my dandelion chains looks like it's under the influence of gravity. I feel that will help it look believable, which will help not sell it. Obviously, like you know this is a drawing. You're not trying to like make people think it's real. But if you can give people as few as possible, like things that might break like their suspension of disbelief, I think that's what I go for. Because then the fantastical like feels so much cooler. So I'm just kind of doing a sort of like a belt here to see if there's going to be any twists. Yeah, so like this will be the inside, but we'll kind of fake it. Okay, I think I'm ready for the dandelion. This is a very small, it's a 0.3 millimeter mechanical pencil. It is number 2, but for this preciseness, I think it'll really help. So we'll kind of just come in and do some dandelions. Let's zoom in again. Wow. Okay, so it's like zooming all the way in, all the way out. Okay, there we go. So for this part of the dandelions, we'll be looking right at us. We're just gonna Oh, it's turned a little. Look, we can even come in and like do little circles or ovals for like where the dandelions will be facing. That one will be facing away, that one will be facing away, and then they'll kind of turn back-ish. Okay, and now we can come in and do the texture, which will make them look like dandelions. And then we'll come back and we'll erase them. So I'm making them a little extra dark now because I'm going to erase the center bits in a second. And then add more texture. I want to make sure they look like what I want them to look like. So that's why I have like the under sketch and then the circles. I guess it's like anything. It's easier to like prevent mistakes and prevent drawing something you don't intend to than it is to like correct big mistakes. But it's fine. Just erase things. Redraw it if you need to. There's no shame. Oh my gosh. This is cuter than I thought. I need a set of colored pencils because I might come in and just color pencil this up. I have markers, but I find with the pencil drawings, the markers can sometimes overwhelm the delicate nature of the pencils. I'm just going to take a little second to separate out the ears. Give him a little cuteness. All right. You know, I want to just get that a little bit wider. Yeah, so that part has to be redone entirely, but that's okay. Here we go. And now I'm just going to give each dandelion a little shadow, a little texture, so you can see where the light's coming from and what it looks like. I do something that I didn't know everyone doesn't do. In all of my drawings, the light comes from this direction. Is that in the... Yeah. The light comes from that direction. And then by default. And then if I want to do light from a different direction, I have to think about it. But if I don't want to think about it, I just have a default direction that light comes from. And that makes it easier to do any kind of shading or sketching. Kind of like cartographers, they had a default direction from where light comes from when they draw like mountains and stuff on maps. And I think theirs actually comes from this direction, the northwest, but mine comes from the northeast. I mean, it's not the northeast, it's up and behind. I mean, up and to the side. But on a map, with north pointed up, like they usually are. Oh my gosh. I love this little pig fool. Oop. I should not have colored in his mouth. Just undo that. All right. We'll get his snout a little textured in. I think that's him. What was the name you suggested?
Lamar.
Yeah. This guy is LeVar because he's adorable. LeVar is an adorable name. Oh, let me use my black pencil. 2B. Just to like really get some solid lines on here. All right, I will be doing more tomorrow. Oh, I didn't do this, finish the tail. So let me finish that tail. There we are. Double cutesy version today. I had a great time. Thank you so much for coming. I'll show you the drawings I did again today. We have the pig with the, come on, dandelion chain. We have little muddy piglet with the pinwheel, and here, I'll zoom out a little. And we have this guy. Thanks so much for coming to Sketch Imp Day May, day 17. I upload all these lives as soon as they're done processing. And come check me out tomorrow, where we will be doing day 18, and who knows what we'll sketch. Another fun adventure into my crazy mind. Thanks so much. Hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed.